Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the Terkko Health X 2020 final. I'm Ifi Kulmala from Helsinki Think Company and I will be hosting the event today. So in case you're still wondering what this Terkko Health X is all about, it's a startup accelerator program for ambitious early stage health and life science startups. For the last 6 weeks, 8 different teams have been developing their solutions and their ability to take those to the market with the help of over 20 experts and mentors. Today, they will pitch their ideas to a panel of judges and also to you. Terkko Health X is organized by Health Hub and Helsinki Think Company. Terkko Health Hub is a Helsinki-based health and life science startup hub with close to 50 in-house startups. Helsinki Think Company is the entrepreneurship society, always a difficult word for Finn, entrepreneurship society of Helsinki University, with several years of experience in organizing accelerators and other support programs for up-and-coming startups. This year, we're organizing Terkko Health X for the second time with the support of our partners, Helsinki University, Reshape, Aalto University, and Amazon Web Services. So, as mentioned earlier, today each team will deliver a pitch. They have 3 minutes for the pitch, after which they will have 7 minutes of sharp questions from a panel of judges. The pitches will be given in 2 sets. First 4 pitches will be followed by a 15-minute break, after which we will return with the last 4 ones. After all the teams have presented their idea, the jury will turn in to choose a winner and 2 runners-up. And you, the audience, will have a chance to ask the team some questions. You can leave questions for a specific team or all of the teams throughout the final in the YouTube chat box, which will be somewhere around here. If you want to post a question, please note that there is a small delay, about 1 minute, with the chat messages and the stream. So you will have to anticipate a bit and ask before the actual moment. So soon you will meet the teams, but first, let's give the judges a chance to introduce themselves. First up, we have Leo Kärkkäinen from Aalto University. Leo, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. So I'm Leo Kärkkäinen, and I'm a professor of practice in Aalto University. I've been looking at digital health. I'm teaching a course called AI in Health, so very kind of concentrated on figuring out how to use artificial intelligence to improve our health system. A fond of deep learning. I have been doing quite a lot of work of analyzing physiological signals and images, and things, for example, like sleep.
Okay, thank you, Leo. Next up, we have Tarang Valecha from Amazon Web Services. Go ahead.
Hey everyone, I hope you can hear me. My name is Tarang. I'm from AWS. I'm a business development manager, basically looking after Denmark and Norway, part of the Nordics team. I'm an ex-founder and have around 17 years of experience in transport and logistics, out of which 7 years has been with the tech industry, worked with corporates like British Petroleum and Accelerator Maersk. And right now, my mission is to help startups to grow and scale. So part of the startup team at AWS, and happy to help judging the startups, exciting businesses that I look forward to meeting today.
Okay, great having you here today, Tarang. As a third member of the jury, we have Tarja Kähkönen from Reshape.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, and thank you for this kind invitation. I'm working with Reshape Finland as a senior leader in healthcare and life science ecosystem. And just a few words about Roche. Roche is the largest biotech company in the world, and our goal is to promote personalized healthcare and health research and innovations, and we are really working and collaborating closely in the ecosystem to develop and bring solutions for patients. And really, I'm happy and honored to be here tonight. Looking forward.
Thank you, Tarja. And last but not the least, Tuomas Palman from FIBAN, Finnish Business Angels Network.
Thanks, Ifi, and great to be here. Yes, my name is Tuomas Palman. I'm a business angel nowadays, did a couple of startups myself, different types of analytics and software analysis, exited them in 2015 and 2016, and since then being, well, a couple of years in a corporate world, and then now the past 2 years have been as a business angel helping startups. And eager to see all the startups and companies here.
Great, thank you, Tuomas. Now, without further ado, it's time for the best part of the evening, which is the teams. And as a reminder, specifically for the teams, the 3 minutes is quite strict. So at 3 minutes, you will hear me say time, and then you know that you have 10 seconds to finish before we cruelly mute you. And as for the judges, you have 7 minutes, but this is not so strict. So if you're in the middle of a question at 7, there will be time for a short reply. I will tell you that this will be the last one at that point. So no worries in that case. But let's move to the best part. So first up, we have a team called Jasmine Pro. Take the stage, please. The first technical issue of the day, but it's all right. Let's continue to the next team and see if Erik can fix the bug at some point, so we can move on to Jasmine Pro after. So Medix Micro, are you ready?
Yeah, I can share.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Karmine.
No
So
worries.
please go ahead.
Okay. So, do you see the presentation? Yes.
Yes, we see it.
Okay. Hello, everybody. This is Medix Micro. I'm holding the alternative to a painful injection on my fingertip. Many people have pets, and many pets, like Otto and Pachok, are scared of injections. We're here to solve this issue thanks to our unique microneedle patch technology. One single patch can have hundreds of small microneedles, so small that they are completely painless. With microneedles, no need to go to the vet each time the pet is sick. Also, there will be no syringes used or needle waste produced. Our microneedles patch technology has several advantages. First of all, it's cheap. Second, the shape of needles can be adapted, matching different needs and application. Third, different drugs can be incorporated in the microneedle simultaneously. And finally, microneedles maximize drug efficacy, giving a brand new life to current medicines. Microneedles are therefore painless and easy to use, offering several advantages compared to conventional injections. For example, cold chain problems can be avoided because the microneedles are manufactured in a dry form, stable at room temperature, thus providing easier way to transport and store medicines. Recently, Scientific American mentioned microneedles in the top 10 emerging technologies of 2020. Microneedles are small, but their business potential is huge. Worldwide, pet owners spend around $20 billion on medications. The market for vet medicines is expected to have 5% growth each year in the future. Therefore, we aim to take the new emerging microneedle technology and bring it to a growing market, making it easy to formulate and deliver drug molecules across the skin. Our team has almost 20 years of expertise in drug development, and we are a multidisciplinary and multicultural team. We have the skills, the knowledge, and the network to build up innovative technologies. We already secured about 1.4 million euros from Business Finland to develop our microneedle technology. Currently, we are on our way to patent our unique formulation. We're looking for partnership and collaborations with pharma companies. We can combine your drug molecules with our microneedle patch technology and create a much better final drug product. We're also looking for more pre-seed funding to keep expanding our team and start clinical animal tests. Pets are your best friends, Our small, painless, and eco-friendly microneedle patch technology will make their life better. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you, Carmine. So it's time for the judges' questions. Please go ahead.
Hello, thank you so much. This is Tarja. I would like to understand more about the problem itself. Could you clarify that? You say that there is more need for this kind of solution, but can you describe the problem?
The problem is that basically when you have to administer a drug with an injection, the clearance is not that high. This is both for humans and pets, so it's the same thing. So therefore, microneedles basically wants to make easier to administer that kind of drugs, so you won't have the pain in the animal that it's much. It's not easy to control compared to the humans, for example. So the needle phobia is way more common in animals, and also you can have less waste of drugs, and it's more easier to transport the drug because you don't have to store it at low temperature, for example, because this kind of formulation is also a form of protection for the drug.
And maybe I can add just one more thing. And of course, it's an easier way also to control the dose. So in the microneedles, we can precisely know exactly what dose we are giving to the, what the drug dose we are giving to the animal. So this is a much higher advantage than the conventional administration routes for the animals, for example. So
thank you. That was all my questions on the setting, but I have further question. The animals have fur, and if you have this microneedle thing, then most of the things are actually touching the fur rather than the skin, because there is no patch like that would actually be very easily free of it. So then it becomes in such a way that the dosage becomes unknown, because you don't know what of those needles are pricking on the fur and what will actually go through the skin. So have you done any tests on the one? Of course, for humans that is a little different. So, but animals really, you have the question about how to access the, and then the dosage differences would be pretty big in the sense because if some of the needles have a very high density, I suppose, of the drug in order to make effective, because it's a micro little thing, then also losing some of them makes kind of a matters.
Absolutely. So those are, of course, very interesting questions, and we have taken into consideration all that. So we have tested in animals, and obviously we have to remove part of the skin in order to introduce this microneedle, so that, as you said, that we will not lose it on the fur or in the fur. But of course, we have to shave a bit. Or then there are certain places in the animals that, for example, the back of the ear, where there is much less, let's say, hair there of hair for the animals, and you can also administer through there. But in practice, you will have to shave a little bit in order to make sure that they are this kind of patch are given directly to the skin. Not on the fur of the animal.
But if I may add, this is also related to the shape and the structure, because, for example, there are already publications that with some specific shape, you can administer the microneedle even without shaving the animals. So it's already been proved. It's a matter of shape of the needle. Some shape are more resistant even in that conditions.
I have a follow-up question on that. On like, how have you quantified the problem and validated it? I mean, you give examples, but like numbers, do you have that figure? I have a second question. Is like, I didn't really clearly understand the business model. Like, how are you guys making money? And the third part is, what is the go-to-market plan?
All right, thank you for the question. The first one is how to quantify. you can get, for example, we are using for now rodent skin, so we can quantify how much of the drug we can get with the fur and without fur. So you can see a bit of decrease with the fur, that is around 10 to 15%, but we haven't still optimized the shape of the needle, even because we are aiming towards pets that are dogs.
Sorry, I'd like to interrupt you. Sorry, I'm trying to get to how big is the problem? Like how have you done your validation on that?
All right, the problem is you have a lot of pets worldwide. So each family in Finland has at least one dog or one cat, and most of them have both of them. Dogs and cats are getting old, and when they get old, they get a lot of diseases, especially with the nutrition that they have now. They get rheumatoid arthritis, they get intestinal bowel disease, that are all chronic diseases, and you have to administer the drug to the animal for the lifelong of the animal till there. This drug can be through injection in the vet, so you have to go to the vet and you have to pay the vet to administer the drug, or through oral dosages that are not always that easy to administer, because it's not so easy to give an oral formulation to, for example, a cat. So our aim for now is to focus on the pain market in the vet, especially in the dog, so rheumatoid arthritis. This is about 3% of the market of the whole like vet pharma. So we are like starting small and focusing only on some of the molecules where we have already some of the, there are already some formulation there, and we can try to get on the same level with them. And then you were asking the business model, right? So our aim is to work with the B2B. So we are looking for partnership and to license out our technology to other vet pharma, can be Boehringer Ingelheim Animal Health Division or someone else. We are already a good contact with the Vet Care Finland, that is a vet company here in Finland. And I'm sorry, what was the last question you were asking?
It's kind of related to that. How do you go to market?
Yeah, the going to market is going through them. So we are going to combine to give our technology to them, to give a new life to one of their products. So that is something easier and cheap. And the owner will probably prefer it to go through the vet a lot of times. That's the solution. And yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
You have half a minute left. So if the question and answer are really quick, you can still do it. But if not.
Okay. If I may ask the last one, could you a little bit explain the competition and your angle to differentiate from the competition?
Medix Micro, very quickly.
Sure. Yeah, we are aware of the competition. There are certain companies doing microneedles technology. However, we are probably the only ones that are applying such technology to animal care. So most of these microneedles technologies has been applied for humans. We are targeting for animals and pets. And also the way we are doing this, that is of course the secret of our business. The way we are designing these microneedles is what it makes us very, very different to what the current technologies is used by other companies. In very, very, very short answer.
Thank you for saving our pets, Flavia, Carmine, and Professor Santos. So next up, from the endless pit of unfunctional conference call, we have Erika from Jasmine Pro back with us. So Jasmine Pro, please.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that. I hope you're able to see my screen right now.
Yes, we see it.
Perfect. Hi, we're Jasmine Pro, the team that invented polygjasmine lactone. With this new polymer, we can make drug delivery better and safer. We can help people get healthy with less side effects. I'm excited to tell you how we can make this into a viable business. 88% of drug molecules fail clinical trials due to drug toxicity, meaning that the side effects surpass the efficacy. And each failed molecule is a loss of 2.2 million euros, a huge financial burden. Imagine if there was a solution to decrease the toxicity and solve one of the pharmaceutical company's biggest problems. There is the polymer drug conjugate approach. By this approach, the toxicity can be reduced and the efficacy increased. but polymers that are currently used for this purpose lack several properties. Our polymer, polygjasmine lactone, is the better solution. We make it from the jasmine flower, and FDA-approved jasmine lactone is obtained. We made this FDA-approved substance into a polymer that can be modified to any desired outcome or need, offering improved drug loading, which means that less polymer is needed, the possibility of combination therapy, meaning taking several medicines at once, and by using different linkers, we can achieve drug release at specific target sites, for example, the tumor sites in the treatment of cancer. Our polymer can also be used in the production of nanoparticles. Mice with tumors were treated with our solution lived 2.5 times longer and looked healthier during the treatment than the ones treated with free or the marketed drug. This is because our solution only targeted the cancer cells without harming the healthy cells in the body. We have competition, but we are better. Our competitors lack a lot of the properties that we can provide with our polymer. Polygjasmine lactone is sustainable, biodegradable, and has batch-to-batch consistency. It is also multifunctional, patentable, and provides tailored drug loading sites. Polygjasmine lactone can enter several markets, and these markets are expected to grow and reach over $200 billion within 7 years. And we aim for our polymer to cover at least 1% of the market. This is a market of over $2 billion. We have established technology and laboratory scale production. A finished patent application and a PCT has already been filed by Åbo Akademi University, and we have a great team. Now, we seek industrial collaboration to turn their molecules from toxic to curing. We are also seeking funding of €500,000 to perform toxicity studies and build more prototypes. And lastly, we are looking for a business champion to join our team and together make this business successful. Thank you for your time and attention.
Thank you, Erika. So now the judges' questions, please.
So I can ask first again. So my first question is in the system that what is the range of the sizes of molecules that you can actually have so because the diffusion rate from the substance depends on the size of the actual medicine that you are approaching. So what is the range of molecules you can handle with this lactose material?
You mean size of the polymer or size of the particles?
Yes, size of the particles that you put the medicine, the actual medicine, and how consistent is the diffusion out of the polylactose?
We use like from 200 molecular weight drug up to 1500 molecular weight drug. So there is a range of particles, drug molecule we can use with our polymer. So there is no restriction with respect to the molecular weight of the drugs. And because the polymer is amorphous, so it can accommodate a lot of drug molecules.
And the time of the diffusion, how long does it actually handle it?
It's all depend how we design. If we design to release the drug at a specific sites, it sense the surrounding environment and then only release the drug at a specific sites. And that release will be abruptly because we allowed the stimuli responsive system. So it's cleverly designed system. So that's the beauty of this polymer. You can design based on what you really want to do.
And the range is for example, contraceptives. So things that because if it's a fast treatment for a day or two or something like that, it's a different thing than if you want to make it so that it actually would be working like a contraceptive, for example.
In the beginning, we are using those drug molecules which are very high toxic, because toxicity is one of the major problems. So we haven't worked on the contraceptive yet, but in future for sure we can work on that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I can go next. I have a question more on the business side of things. So again, what is the business model and how are you commercializing it?
The business model would be we don't have a startup yet, so we will start a startup and we would out-license the polymer to pharmaceutical companies and also offer a service where they can collaborate with us. We start the research into how to modify our polymer to fit their molecules and get them better reduce the toxicity for them and improve the efficacy.
And who would be your customer in those pharma companies and drug discovery companies? Like who
Like
you approach?
who of the pharmaceutical companies?
Yeah.
Well, we have, for example, we already talked to Bayer, which
No, not the name of the pharma companies. Like when pharma companies could have different kind of divisions, right? Commercial, would it be technical people like you would be targeting? Like who's the persona who you'd be targeting in pharma companies?
Basically R&D who are developing new drug molecules.
So it'll be R&D team.
Yeah.
Got it.
Maybe I could go next. I would like to understand about your team and capabilities. Are there any capabilities missing at the moment, and what kind of team do you have at the moment?
I can maybe first share the screen again with the team. But yeah, Kuldeep, go ahead.
Yeah, so we have a team from the research side which is very strong. So it's me and Erika who are working on mainly on research part of the project, and Erika is also looking a little about business sides. And then Professor Jessica, she is nanomedicine expert, and then Professor Carl Eric, he is polymer expert. So this is from the research side. And then we have like part-time member Oti Villen, who is like looking for the marketing, so approaching the companies to find out what's the problem they have, and then communicating as a communicating part between us and the pharmaceutical company. But we are missing the business champion who can full-time work with us and take it forward and to make really a business out of it.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I have a further question. You say that your business model is that you actually take a problem and then you start defining or developing the molecule for the correct use.
Yes.
So then there is how do you estimate what is the cost of each development compared to the benefits that you get from the customer when you bring it in? Because having to kind of to optimize a product for each round of a molecule that you are getting is pretty heavy on the work side on your startup when you do it, and then how it relates to the expected funding that you get from on the work from the. So this is a question about your business model. So how a lot of the work you have in order to develop the system compared to what you expected kind of return.
So, for example, let's say a company develop a drug molecule and which failed in clinical trials. As Eric already said, it's around 2.2 billion euro loss. So that's a huge amount. And if to make it better, obviously a company is ready to pay a handsome amount so that they can really bring up that drug molecule in the market, because they already invested a lot of money to develop that particular molecule. So that's a negotiation which we have to do with the company to figure out what is the best amount we have to take to develop it. And the another thing is the polymer part is not really very difficult to make. So that's also one of the major advantage that you can really make the things, synthesize the things very quickly in a facile manner. So we don't really think that will be a bigger problem. For example, in recently we have got one project from Chemira, and they have a molecule which have a drug solubility issues, and they paid like almost 50,000 euro for 4 months. So that's on the research side only. And if we have a startup, definitely we get more amount compared to this one.
Half a minute left again, so time for a really quick question and a really quick answer. Or has the curiosity of the jury been already satisfied by this? Are you happy to move on?
I think half a minute is not enough, but yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Kuldeep and Erika.
Thank you.
Next up, we have a team called Pilschen.
Yes, I hope you can all
hear me and see my share screen?
Yes, we can see it. Go
Great.
ahead.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. We are Pilschen, your medicine in the matter of a click. We have a patent-pending portable device that can manufacture your medicine anywhere. Our technology makes it possible to program your drug release and other kinetics. Personalized medicine is a growing field, and the Pilschen technology is possible to make it for you to get the right dose and the right drug at the right time. Because one size does not fit all. Your age, gender, genetics, they may all affect the dose that you need. Another aspect is deadly diseases. Still today, they are a big global health concern. Malaria, AIDS, diabetes complications, these are some of the biggest. In developing countries, medicines are not always available where they are needed, and there are lots of counterfeit medicines circulating in the streets. Also, side effects caused by, for example, wrong dosages, they lead to 1 million deaths every year and trillions in healthcare costs. So our technology is here to disrupt the field of personalized medicine. It is based on microfluidics and piezoelectricity. We have a handheld device that can manufacture the desired medicine on the go, anywhere, fast and safe. You insert the cartridge, choose the dose, and receive the medicine. We will provide drug cartridges, the manufacturing device, and also intelligent data management. Our business model is to serve B2B, B2G, and later on B2C. We will provide our service to pharma industry, healthcare providers, and in the future also to individual patients. With our portable device, you get a pill that is personalized just for your needs. Your pill is trackable, programmable, safe, efficient, all in one click. First, we are aiming at the veterinary market, where compounding of medicines is a global market of over 844 million. Compounding is very labor intensive, and we are looking to make it easier. Then we are expanding to pharma industry and the phase 2, phase 3 drug trials, and after that, the global drug market. We have an expanding multidisciplinary team of scientists. We have many years of experience in the field and a strong advisory board with international collaborations. We are visioning a future where healthcare professionals can carry a medicine factory in their suitcase. We are looking for an investor mentor to help us reach the market and reach our goals. And also pre-seed funding of 15,000 euros to get our technology patented and to get a lab space of our own. Thank you for listening. Now our team is ready to answer your questions.
Thank you, DK and Lisa and Ragnar for this personalized experience. So it's time for the last pitch before the break. And for that, we have CSS, aka the Constructive Solution Squad.
Thank you. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, now we see it.
Yes, and you are obviously able to hear me as well. Okay. Hi. 1 in 3 women globally suffer from domestic violence. That is really painful because the cost is over 1.5 trillion euros per year. And the problem is actually that the services are not available and accessible for the sufferers. We have a solution for this. Our AI tool is available 24/7. It is helping whenever the users are needing help. We are focusing also on savings for the society as well as the human beings. NGOs are doing their best to help the people who are suffering violence, but it's not enough at this point. So we want to help them via their phones. The service would be free for the end users, the sufferers, and it would be monthly subscribed for NGOs. We have developed this tool with 100 professionals from psychology, technology, and many other fields. We have also 15 experts by experience who have told us what is beneficial for them, what they need from the tool whenever they are struggling with their problems, whenever they face the violence and are looking for the help. We have started first negotiations with organizations called Fingo and Felm, which are located in Tanzania, and we are planning to pilot our project with them. We are looking for initial funding of 50,000 euros, and we would do market validation better and plan for the pilot. We have 2 teams, and we have really dedicated to this issue. We have also good advisors in the team, and we are really excited to make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, CSS. Now it's time for the judges' questions.
So you are using this in Tanzania, and so what is the spread of phones that you have an application running already?
We are not using that so much yet, so we are planning to do the market validation, and especially in Tanzania, we don't know the market so well, but we have those 2 organizations which are asking help from us.
So you don't have an application running that you could try yet?
Yeah, we have MVP, which is running already, and we are trying to make it better. And
are you going to use that in your trials?
Yes and no, possibly. There are also other options. We have used now one alternative, and then there are other options which seem to have more psychological features which we could use. So we are still investigating which would be better platform.
Yes, I can add here, I'm from the same team, hey Anna. We have a prototype up and running, which we are experimenting with. It's not published for the audience, but it's in our internal circles. So with our partners and collaborators, we have it available, and people can test it. And we are testing and trying the assumptions that we have with that prototype.
May I continue from that? When you have this prototype, have you in some phases co-created that with stakeholders, or how did you build the prototype? What was the process behind it?
Yes, it has been completely built with the stakeholders. So the first step was to start with the NGOs who are professionals. So we have Kynnys ry, which gives us understanding of the women with disabilities and their needs. Then we have Nice Hearts, which gives us understanding of the needs of immigrant background women. And then we have Naisten Linja, which helps us understanding the needs that their chat service users need. So with them, we mapped out the kind of like what is the need from the NGO side. And then we have been interviewing experienced experts and asking them what kind of services they would like to have, what kind of features they would need in that. So it has been co-created with them.
Okay, I'll go next. I have a question on like the market. I didn't see those numbers. Like how big is the market, and like what is the competition like?
Yeah,
go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, in the initial slide, I mentioned 1.5 trillion people who are suffering from this. But then about the market size and all the parties instead of NGOs, we don't know exactly yet. So we are looking for some money to make more research on that.
Yes, I don't know if Kaisa mentioned, but we know that 1 in 3 women globally suffer from domestic violence, and Finland is actually the second most violent country for women. So we have also the problem here, and the taboos around it is very high. This is what we have understood with conversations with experienced experts in Tanzania, where we were invited to start pilot testing. The problem is big because they don't have any support systems in place. The government is very willing to find tools and ways to help, but they don't have, for example, the therapy services are not in place. And this is kind of like the first step, that how could we bring the psychosocial elements into available for them. And we have understood and learned that mobile is what they have. They have mobile phones, so it's kind of like the accessibility through those is easier than, for example, providing services on laptops or devices such as, and then also the understanding that in rural areas it might be hard for people to kind of walk or travel to different places. So these type of things we would need to understand better, that where do we guide them to get help? How can we bring online services available and supports available?
2 minutes left.
Yeah, you mentioned your end customers are NGOs, if I understood correctly, right? I mean, the paying customer.
Yes, the paying customer would be NGO or other organizations. They can be also public services like governmental organizations or cities. So our business model is B to G to C.
Yes, and we have also investigated the possibilities to add in-app purchases for the violence victims, such as online help materials. So it could be a sales channel also for the therapy providers and consultants and shots, so they could provide their services. And we have a collaborating company which offers therapy services in Finland for violence victims, so they could access through our app to their services, and they could also provide materials and sell those through our services. So there is the idea that the kind of like the basic version with the conversations and guidance would be free, but then we can add their paid elements such as customization, different types of gamified elements and such.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kaisa, Anna, and Jari.
Thank you.
This was the last team before the break. So now we will take a longish break, as we are a bit ahead of schedule. So we will continue here at 6:20 with the last 4 teams for the second batch of the pitches. So we will see you in 28 minutes. Hello again, and nice to have you back here on Terkko Health X 2020 final live stream. As it is 6:20 now, we will continue with the pitches. So we still have 4 teams to go. And first up, it's time for Archimonia to take the stage. So David, Ruben, please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I will share my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. And now I can see the presentation mode. Perfect. Start when you are ready.
Hi, everyone. We are here to fight against one of the most overlooked disorders in the world, ADHD. Ideally, every single person with ADHD should be paid the same amount of attention. But the truth is, most guidelines for the treatment of this disorder are commonly aimed at young boys, which make it hard for girls and adults to deal with this disorder once they know they have it. Actually, out of 60% of the people that is diagnosed with ADHD will experience anxiety or depression at some point in their life because of this. There are already some therapy options out there able to cope with this, but many of them are not quite engaging, which makes it difficult for the patient to follow up with the treatment. Fortunately, there are some opportunities to help with this lack of motivation. Art therapy, for example, is able to empower these users by helping with emotional management. And video games are also starting to be a thing here, in such a way that some of them are even starting to be prescribed as alternative therapies for ADHD. So we want to bring the best of both worlds for our product, Archimonia. With this, we want to propose a virtual reality game based on different sessions in which you will have to escape a closed art gallery. In order to do so, different artworks will come to life and will avoid you to escape by challenging you with different cognitive tasks. While doing them, the game will gather different objectives biomarkers that will track performance and engagement so that the next session can be provided with different stimuli and tasks that are specifically tailored to your needs. With this, we aim to propose an accessible therapy that is usable from the comfort of your home, that can be personalized for the needs of everyone, and that also increase the motivation for the long-term treatment of ADHD. We have validation with experts in VR. We have mentoring from top-notch early-stage programs. We even have a partnership for the development of our game. We also have a rock-solid multidisciplinary team that is able to join forces from different fields. But most importantly, we have people that are starting to join our cause. So far, we are starting to test our concept with people with ADHD, and the feedback is being quite positive. So we want to keep it up in order to generate enough hype in order to start a crowdfunding campaign of 40K. But we need your help to do so. And that is why we are asking to keep expanding our tester community with more people with ADHD or medical community as well. Because we want to keep fighting for the treatment of ADHD. And we will be really proud of making this happen with you. Thank you.
Thank you, David. And now to the judges' questions.
Hello, David. So my first question is on when you are developing the game, do you actually develop on certain platform like Unity or something like that? So I know that there's quite a big competition in game area and lots of good games that people are prone to go to. And it is hard to make it so that it actually compares with the commercial offering that you have on the sites that actually would convince some of the young girls and young boys to use it. So what's your take on that? So in what level of game design you are in making this application?
So right now we are in the stage in which we have a proof of concept. We have already designed the main task of the game, and those are the tasks that we are already validating with the people that will be use them, which essentially are the people with ADHD. And then in order to make it come true, we had a partnership with Mikiwi, which is a company which is specialized in the creation of these virtual reality games, and those are the ones that are going to help us develop this product further. So in order to do that, our first approach is to make it by using Unity, so that we have an MVP that we can also start to test with people in order to gather different feedback and keep improving it in the long run.
May I continue from that? Is that I'm thinking about the co-creation. Have there been, have you had any kind of co-creation with those people who are suffering from this? Or what is your development phase and how have you done it?
Well, they have already been participants on this, at least in the first stage of the validation on the problems, and how might we help by helping our game. So they have specifically told us what are the main problems that they have with therapies, and those are the problems that we want to solve with the design of our game. So also we have the help of different psychologists that are specialized in the treatment of ADHD, and those are the ones that are actually paying much more attention in the development of the task.
Hey, David. So thanks for the pitch. How have you taken the feedback? You mentioned you've got feedback from the early testers of the prototype, right? Like, how have you measured that feedback? Is it more just anecdotal feedback, or is it, what data points are you measuring?
Well, as the feedback of our product has been actually by means of our operation manager, which is Alisa. She's right now living in New York, and she's working at a healthcare company, so she has access to these sort of communities as well. And she was the one that actually was starting to gather feedback of these people. So we started 1 week ago, and we have 20 different feedbacks on this. And the
20 different users or 20 different feedbacks?
20 different users.
Okay. Okay, great. And like, what's the business model? How are you going to monetize this?
Yeah, the business model, this product will be offered for therapy centers, also psychiatrists and psychologists and neurologists, and also insurance companies. So they will pay for it. And the price will cost almost an approximation 2,000 euros a year.
So it's a subscription model.
Yeah, subscription model, yeah. And with this subscription model, you will have the headset and also the treatment with all the data collected and everything with the feedback of a psychiatrist or a psychologist.
Have you taken any feedback on this business model from your insurance companies or the therapists? Like, are they willing to pay for this?
We have talked with some psychologists and psychiatrists and neurologists, but not yet with the other stakeholders.
And have they signed any LOIs to actually go with the MVP to test it or things like that?
We are thinking about that, because in the following months we have to develop this MVP and make agreements with some therapy centers in order to do so. So we are looking for it now.
And just the last question: how big is the market?
Sorry?
How big is the market?
David, you can talk about it.
So, just as a first approximation, we made a calculation on the treatment cost of all the comorbid disorders that come with ADHD only in Finland, and we came to a calculation of 330 million euros.
330 million euro only in Finland.
Yeah.
Okay, and you plan to expand it, of course, in Europe and globally.
Yeah, actually, for the next 9 months, we also have partnerships with a health tech incubator which is based in Berlin. So both Berlin and Helsinki will be our first points of contacts in order to start validating this.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
1 minute left, so one final question.
I can ask if there's nobody else. Like technology-wise, you mentioned Unity. Like, what other technologies are you using?
So, Ruben, you want to answer?
Yeah, in order to develop the game, we need Unity, and also this Unity have to be connected with Amazon Web Service in order to collect all this data from patients, and eye tracking tools. Eye tracking tools in order to measure the hot maps and the pupil dilatation. With these two variables, we can measure more or less the motion level of these patients. So it will be the technology. This technology can be integrated in the headset or not, depending on the headset that we want to use.
Is there a plan for which headsets to use, or it's going to be agnostic, like cross-platform? Like, what's the idea?
Yeah,
reply.
Go ahead, David.
So we are already starting to see which headset are the most feasible ones to go with it. And there are already some of them that have these eye tracking tools integrated, such as the Pico Neo and also the HTC Vive. So our first proof will be essentially trying one of those and seeing how the video game goes with it as regarding all of this collection of data. And from that, we will try to keep improving over time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank you, Tiago and David. Tiago, sorry, Ruben. I'm very sorry. Thank you, Ruben and David. Next up, we have a team called Swante Group. Please take the stage.
Your clothes, giving you a long-lasting protection for your skin. Sounds magical, right? The problem here is that we all experience some kind of skin rash, redness, or maybe a skin issue. From a patient in a hospital experiencing bed sore to a child experiencing rashes due to climate change, or the nurse wearing protective gear having severe skin rashes, or a waiter working in a restaurant dealing with extreme temperatures resulting in skin acting out. People lose out on recommended sleep due to these issues. Some people experience the worst forms like eczema, psoriasis. You will not believe, but 5.9 million workdays are lost annually due to eczema alone. What do we do about it? People apply creams or take pills. Sometimes we forget to apply them, or we're afraid of staining our clothes, or are irritated with all the stickiness. At Swante, we're offering a spray solution rather than the old sticky creams, which are staining as well. Believe it or not, you have to dress up, and your clothes will provide you the daily dose of skin wellness. Our revolutionary patent-pending product, when sprayed on the insides of your clothing, provides antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, all while still being natural and fuss-free. You spray solution on the clothing like you spray your perfume, and it will last for up to 5 washes, giving you a sustained protection of your skin. Moreover, our solution is made of medicinal herbs derivatives which make it sustainable and biodegradable nanotechnology, which is a first. Over time, we have strived to create a perfectly working solution, which costs us about 1.5 euros to produce 100 ml of our solution, which a person will use for almost a month, and we can retail it anywhere between 8 to 10 euros. Brands like Skinnies and Hydroactive are providing microencapsulation products, but Swante is superior and versatile in terms of benefits and application. We plan to provide our technology to various industries, from hospitals to hospitality, by coating their linens, aprons, and surgical gowns. We also want to collaborate with the outdoor and nightwear clothing industry and also the Indian military. After our conversation with various hospitals like Apollo and dermatologists, we can assure you that the market is already excited about the product. Our amazing team holds experience ranging from fabric innovation, textile chemicals, to nanotechnology that makes us a perfect team, just like our product. To make Swante provide benefits worldwide, we're here to ask you for collaboration with laboratories in the EU market for global testing. Let's weave the skincare into our clothing. Thank you.
Thank you, Kavya. So now it's time for the judges' questions.
So quite innovative. So you say that it is biodegradable and still it actually can handle 5 washes when you put it into the system. So any allergy studies on the system? So whether it has some function, but whether how it actually is on people who have allergies? Does it cause them or not?
Yeah, so we have made this product in collaboration with a university in India. And currently we did our antimicrobial studies, and also we ran our testing studies for textile testing basically. And they've proven to be correct that it is biodegradable, first of all. And second, it is in fact lasting up to more than 5 washes for us as of now.
May I continue from that? Is that you said 5 washes, but what kind of washes are they? Have you tested different temperatures and different clothing types? And
so currently we are working with cotton and cotton blends, and we are testing it different kinds of commercial washing situations, ranging from let's say a hospital might be using a percentage of acetic acid, and let's say the different temperature, to a hospitality industry, or let's say a textile washing industry. So we are going from all the industries and making sure that we are conforming to all kinds of washing procedures to ensure that, let's say an XYZ chemical comes in today in the washing procedure, it does not affect our solution on the textile.
so the product itself is that the consumer needs to spray the ingredient to the fabric. So it needs to be sprayed equally to every, because otherwise if you have a shirt or something, I spray to this one spot. So what then, what is the efficacy if you don't do that?
So basically, we've created this product as an ease of use method. What we recommend is basically to use it in your most vulnerable areas, probably around your neckline, around your armpit. So it does not matter if they do not spray it evenly. They can spray it unevenly, but it will still work and give you more efficacy in the areas that they have sprayed. And when it comes to textile application or commercial applications, we will have machinery to make sure that it's evenly sprayed.
Like, let's say we were in conversation with various dermatologists, and they required gloves for people who are suffering from atopic dermatitis. This is one of the needs that have come up for us. So what we are doing for them is we are making the textiles and putting the coating before we supply it to the consumers. And that coating, in fact, we are aiming to last for at least 25 washes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have my favorite questions on business model and the market. But I'd also like to go back to your competition slide, and you had given the difference between your competition. I didn't really get a time to look at it. If you can share the screen again.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, wash durability everybody offers. How is it different in terms of ease of use than the others? Like, why is it difficult for skinnies or hyperactive?
So first of all, the ease of use comes in that they are using, first of all, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
So first of all, they're using polyester fabric, which is definitely not great for skin. And we are aiming to go with cotton blends, or natural fabrics. Second is, when it comes to ease of use, you have to buy their fabric. Let's say what Skinnies is offering is compression socks. So you have to go and buy it. With our product, what socks you are wearing right now, you can just spray the product on the socks. You don't have to go and buy another product.
Got it.
And definitely it's cheaper to buy the product than buying the garment itself.
Great. So sorry, I asked all the questions in one go. So what about business model? Can you explain a little bit more?
Kavya, go ahead.
Sure. So basically, sir, we're trying to start from B2C, that is direct to consumers. That will be a bottled bottle technology, which we want to offer to our direct consumers. We have approached key opinion leaders, being dermatologists and lifestyle gurus, so to say, in India, who will be testing our product, to claim the drug level. So right now we're launching as a cosmetic product level. So they will in fact recommend our product, try our product, and we've planned to introduce it through our micro influencers, nano influencers into B2C market, which gives us entry into B2B market. That is our outdoor and leisure wear and military. We want to actually go into the military because of the extreme temperatures that our military have to deal with in India. It's varying. So they have a lot of skin issues that come up with it.
And for B2C market, like how are you putting your product out? What channels are you using?
So right now we're in the testing product, but we are brainstorming. I think Nisha can tell you better.
So basically, when we say B2C, we are also aiming at B2B2C market, where we want to go to your FMCG brands, like let's say Johnson & Johnson, or who already have their established marketing and distribution teams in the market. So let's say we want to go global as well tomorrow. So it will be easier for us to penetrate into the market, because obviously to market this product to any sort of consumer market, you need great amount of money for marketing. So it's always better to go via a company who's already established their branches in the consumer market.
Yes.
Thank you.
1 minute left, so time for one question.
So what kind of utilities you are for in order to make the production of the system? So how are you dependent on actually factories making the miracle substance?
Could you repeat the question once?
What's your kind of a production plans? So how do you kind of set up the production of the system and that side of the equation?
So currently we are in collaboration with a company within India and also a company which is in States, who have agreed for the first scale up of our product. Currently, we are in collaboration with a university in India, which is a pioneer in nanotechnology, where we are producing the product. And then we're going to start scaling up the product as per the needs with collaboration with the US and the Indian company.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Swante Group, for the pitch and the answers. I actually have a quick question for you. We mostly know Swante as a name of a Swedish dude, but in your name, what does Swante stand for?
Sure. Swante is actually an amalgamation of Sanskrit and a French word, both meaning health, swasthya, and sante, both referring to health. And this is just showing how global the need of such a product is. Hence, it's Swante.
Okay, thank you very much. Next up, we have a team called Analysis Mode. So please take the stage.
All right, let's do this. The second. Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. We are Analysis Mode, and we are using AI neuroevolution to reduce research time from 700 hours to 4 hours. How long does it take a discovery? Actually, a lifetime. At least in the past, the scientists used to dedicate their whole lives to make one discovery. We saw this with vaccines and antibiotics. And it's true today, a bench scientist will spend 700 hours doing manual experiments and measurements. And many of these experiments failed. This actually brings a risk to you and your family because we have health threats out there which we are not prepared for it. The first one being antibiotic-resistant superbugs, which are estimated to kill more than cancer by 2050, and infectious diseases that clearly we are not ready for this. So Analysis Mode has created an experiment simulation software. Now with this software, the bench scientists are able to know which experiments would work before they actually make them, saving that 700 hours to just 4 hours to figure out the experiment. And we use AI, specifically an amazing technology called neuroevolution, because it works on small data examples. So for example, novel diseases, when you don't have data, it is scalable because we can evaluate billions of neural networks at the same time. And you can evolve the model, meaning that an AI doesn't need to be retrained every time a new data is added. And also the scientist has an explainable model, so he understands why every single prediction is made. We open this AI black box. So our software does thousands of simulations, which verifies which models has better accuracy. And this is the interface that the bench scientists would see. And you can track in real time the evolution of these models and their accuracy. So that same scientist, without any coding knowledge, any technical knowledge whatsoever, can now use our platform. So they can add past experiments, usually stored in spreadsheets, and our software will make the prediction. We'll actually point the scientist to which experiment will actually work before you actually do them. And we have a super team, which we combine the expertise from AI engineering, health research, and AI business development. And we were at executive levels from previous companies as well. Our customers already got extraordinary results. We had Uppsala University, which made a discovery, and they're going to write 12 publications next year. And we are now targeting academia and biotech. And right now, we are also offering first project for free. We guarantee that in the first month, you're actually going to get the value that we are promising. We are analysis mode. We're making more discoveries with less risk. Thank you. But secret sauce, we have our own supercomputer, which makes it very cheap to process AI and AI quality assurance. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Tiago. And now to the judges' questions.
I would like to understand about the competitive landscape you have at the moment for this solution.
Yes. So there are other competitors out there which develop software for R&D, and they currently have like 100 million valuation of like rounds and investments, but they actually focus on really specific niches. So I see specifically drug discovery or R&D, like with the machines, this is software that comes with the machines and so on. And these actually also require the technical knowledge to operate their software. With ours, we have been working with scientists that doesn't know any data science, AI, or coding. They just give us a spreadsheet. I mean, just upload software, and you have the prediction like in 4 hours. So in a way, we have a niche there, which is bench scientist, which doesn't know any coding.
Can you explain actually what's your secret sauce? So why are you able to do that and not why the competitors needs to focus and you don't?
Yes, so our secret sauce is actually a combination of this neuroevolution that I called. This actually enables us to train literally billions of models at the same time. So this actually, this technology was already used by Uber and Google DeepMind for all the use cases, and we just modified this to work with healthcare data sets. And this enables us to build this kind of sequence of rules, logic, instead of being a equation like a neural network would do, like with constants and numerical values.
Okay, and to continue on that one, so what makes you experts on that? Why doesn't the competition use it? So what's your expertise on the field?
I'm a former vaccine researcher. I used to do vaccine discovery and develop algorithms to predict the protein sequence to build protein-based vaccines. And this is actually partially part of my research I did back then with my PhD mentor back then. And now we actually got exactly what we needed to spin up this technology back up again. And one of these components was actually the supercomputer that we built. And also this, the game that we said, actually, we have 20,000 people that monthly basis, they do something like, looks like a game, but they do a pre-screening and pre-processing of the data that comes into the system. So this is enables us to have like a pre-labeled data.
Hey, Tiago.
Hey.
Really nice background. I'm curious where you are. Just a quick question on, because the last few slides were really fast. So you said you have a revenue of 55K? Was that?
Yes, yeah, 54 annual recurring revenue. Yes.
And you're raising, you're doing a round for 2 million.
Yes, next year.
Okay, and what do you need funds for?
Yeah, so we are in the process of actually scaling up the sales part of sales growth. And for example, next year we already have, well, we set a soft confirmation that will increase our revenue to almost 90,000. And we need to hire in-house data scientists. We need to hire a sales team dedicated to this case. And also we need a new office space to house our supercomputer.
Okay, so it will be used for all these different things. So how are you doing the sales today, and what's the model? What's the sales strategy?
Yeah, currently, I'm actually reaching myself, the researchers on LinkedIn, which only the active ones are actually posting on LinkedIn. So I did about 20 customer interviews, just asking them individually what it is their need and how can speed up the research. And from these 20, we got 18 yes of like that they have a need in there. And from those, we're still working on them into a pilot, but we got 4 that were actually converted and using the platform. So far, we're just reaching them out. And then one of the partners, they're actually going to publish this the papers next year, and they're going to mention our technology. So it's going to be a self-referring machine. You know, it's just like Google DeepMind did.
Great. About the size of the market, how big it is, the potential?
Yeah, for life science software is 22 billion now, but it is growing 14% per year.
Have you done any bottom-up analysis for your specific market?
Yes, so it really depends on the use case, right? Previously, we were wanted to focus in vaccines, and specifically the seasonal vaccines, so like influenza. That would be like 300 million per year, right? So this is the amount invested in R&D for that. So we can actually take up a slice of that.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
2 minutes left. Any more questions? Thomas, Dario?
I can actually ask another one. What's the pricing like?
Yeah, the pricing now, we have for biotechs, which is around 5,000 per month. So these actually also have a limit on the data set that you can upload, because as you know, data costs a lot to store. And that's actually one need that we have growing. But yeah, so it's 5,000, but it's also flexible according to the data and amount of processing power that you need.
And is it 5,000 flat fees for the organization, or is it user based? Like
it's up to 5 users.
Up to 5 users.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so you have a different model if you have more users and more usage.
Yes. Yes.
Do you have that defined already, or is it something you're working on?
It's still work in progress, because we have 4 working people now. I mean customers. So we're still seeing how they scale and trying to find the optimal one.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would love to hear a question from Rush.
Thank you. I'm listening and thinking about. I definitely, of course, there is a need, but then I'm thinking. Actually, I would like to understand about your collaborators at the moment. So this is really in real life testing at the moment, real life use.
Yes. Yes. So for example, Uppsala University, they wanted to discover a material to use in prosthetics that has antiviral properties. But then instead of doing laboratory experiments, that would be 100,000 of them to find out the material. Instead, they gave us the data of past experiments. So they know, for example, that a chemical formula would have, you know, the amount of antibacterial property. And then we could actually, from this data, predict which chemical material will actually work for that use case.
Yeah. And this is actually my other question, that the data you are putting behind the AI, so that how you are validating the data that it is really then yeah. I'd say good enough.
Yes, when we work with the partners.
Very quick reply.
Okay, so all the data is experimentally validated, and we work closely with the partner to to really let them know how much of data they need in order to make a good prediction. But our model actually works with small data. It's like about 50,000 rows is already enough.
Okay, thank you, analysis mode.
Thanks a lot.
And then the last one, the last but not the least. So we have Finland glance. I can see, yes, I can see the share
Yes.
now. So start when you're ready.
Yes, I'm ready. Hi, everyone. My name is Tung. We are from Think Advanced, and we develop organ-on-chip device for drug testing. So for one drug compound to be commercialized, it takes more than 10 years and nearly $3 billion, starting from 10,000 compounds passing through many stages. So the annual factors, that's the biggest cost factor for any drug development. And we know that we can get any drug working just very well from the lab to animal, but 90% of the time they fail in human. It comes to the fact that animal models are not human. That's why we believe that our technology can save hundreds of millions of development costs for any drugs and years of developing those drugs. So here is an example of how our technology works. Here we have a patient who is suffering from a blood disorder. We take the cell from the patient and we grow the cell in our device. And it carefully mimics how the blood flow, the pressures, and the stress happen. And it's just like inside the human body. By that, we recreate the disease inside a single transparent device. That's what you can see here on the right. This is a network of blood vessels. And then we can flow drug through it and do all the drug testing. So it has been known by other researchers that even though the technology is quite young, but in the next 5 years, it's gonna bring down the direct cost by more than 25% to the pharma industry. And the market forecast for our technology have increased more than 50% annual growth rate year over year. And that has been due to the fact that animal research with a $100 billion market has been declining over years. And we have a very strong team. We have a very strong traction from current paying customer, from academic groups, as well as we are getting more interested from pharmaceutical companies. And we have a very highly skilled and diverse team of engineers, researchers, and business management to make this technology happen. So if you are interested in our company, please feel free to contact. And we are Think Advanced. Thank you.
Thank you, Tuan. So next up, the judges' questions.
Thanks.
So what is the, okay, you go first.
Thanks, Leo. Can you a little bit explain on your go-to-market strategy?
Yes, so actually we are now having collaboration with different academic groups across Finland and Europe. And then first we deliver the platform, the device for those research group, and they're gonna do the testing on that. And through the publications, and they also verify the feasibility of our products, and we are current. And after that, they can also get paid. We can also get paid from those groups. And beside that, we are entering different EU projects, and we are getting funding. And from that, we also have collaboration with different pharmaceutical companies like AstraZeneca and Orient Pharma. And yeah, that's how we are entering the market.
And what's your, after these projects, what's your end business model, or what's your goal for the business model?
Our business model is B2B. Where we sell the products. This is just not a single device. This is a whole ecosystem of the device, the assays, and the handling methods, the perfusion control methods to be provided to the customer, like the research group and pharmaceutical for drug testing.
So you said that you're actually building a platform for culturing cells.
Yes.
From. So do you do some epigenetic studies on, or do you build organoids out of those? So what's your kind of a goal in setting? So how long do you actually go in order to provide, for example, the proper environment for the cells to grow in the setting?
Yes, in our platform, we are able to grow different parts of the body, like blood-brain barrier, microvessels, and even the organoids. And this is also a competitive point of our company, is that we are very quick from idea to prototype, and within a month we can have the final prototype to be delivered to the end users, which is for example, the research group. And an example is that last summer, we are the only provider in Finland to provide a platform for the COVID-19 research for a group in University of Eastern Finland. They were studying the effects of COVID-19 virus to the olfactory, and we was providing the platform for that. Yeah.
So you already have kind of customers, and you have return out of those. So
yes.
So what is the need for? What is the extra need for money that you actually are searching for? What do you plan to scale up?
Yeah. So we are now first we are now producing the devices ourselves. We have the in-house facility to do the microfabrication, but when it comes to volume productions, we need to have partners and subcontractors, and also we also have to have the ISO certification as well, and then we also have to build a business strategies, and we need to really get into the pharmaceutical industry. So that's what the funding is for.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I would like to ask also about your learnings in your journey. What would you describe are your biggest learnings?
Okay, so I've been in Finland for 1 year exactly. I came from Vietnam, and originally I was a biomedical engineer. So I worked mainly with medical devices like ECGs and EEG, ultrasound, and then I came to the field of microfluidics lately, like 4 years ago. And then I get the job here in Finland at FinAdvance. And at that time, the company there was only 2 people in the company, and I am the 3rd one. And then from that point, I really get into the biology stuff. I study about the cells, how the cell behave in such a microsystem. And over the past few years were quite a very fantastic and new journey to me to get into a completely new field, and I've been learning a lot. Yeah.
Thank you.
I could also answer a part of that question. I'm Pratik, the founder. So the main learning what we also had is that pharma is super slow and traditional. We cannot make a change next month. It takes half a year if we are lucky.
Yeah.
So there is still time for a last question. Any more questions to ask?
So are there any kind of restrictions that you have on the type of cells that you can culture? So you have kind of a capability of actually kind of looking at any kind of systems that would then be able to replace the kind of animal experiments or something like that? Or have you noticed that some culturing is hard? And does it really work very easily?
Yes. For sure, some cultures are almost impossible to mimic. But then we are developing because the mechanology, the mechanical characteristics of the surface where you culture the cells, that had to be very fine-tuned, and mimics exactly the same condition as in human body. And thus we were developing a technology where we can mimic the exact stiffness of the surface and how the cells can behave and can react to the surrounding environment. And that's how we try to cope with the situation and make it more advanced.
Okay, so you made a gym for yourselves so that they can exercise.
Yes.
We cannot do any psychological tests. That's maybe the biggest limitation. And then if for example, on our skin-on-chip platform, we cannot really assess, at least not directly, if the culture is feeling any itchiness. So those are a few limitations we have.
Okay, thank you very much, Tuan and Pratik. And this is the 8th and final team. So now it is the time to thank our jury for now and send them to deliberate. As for the teams, we will continue in a breakout room. And as for the viewers, we will see you at 2030 for the declaration of the winner and the runners-up and the judges' critique. So thank you very much. Teams, judge to see you on the other side. Again, and welcome back to the Terkko Health X final for 2020. Now we're at a point where the judges have deliberated and they have chosen a winner and 2 runners-up. But before we let them speak, I'm gonna shortly go through the prizes. So for the first team, we have 2,500 euros from the Think Company Fund. And for the top 3, they are going to be awarded with 6 months of membership at Terkko Health Hub. For all the teams in January, we will have 10,000 Amazon Web Service credits available for you, as well as a 50% discount on Terkko membership for your team. But now that that is settled, the judges, it's time for you to tell us what you thought.
Yeah, so I have been chosen by my fellow panel judges to announce the winners. And what I'd like to do first is really thanks everyone on a Friday evening to be here and presenting really great ideas. The startups with so many diverse teams, and they're all making such positive impact on the lives of people, and that's not every day, right? So it was really personally for me. I learned a lot, I can say that. And the business models were so diverse and so exciting. It made all of us really engage into and tune into what was presented. So thanks a lot to all the startups, really. And I would also like to thank Terkko for organizing such a great demo day virtually, which is not easy, but great job there. And lastly, yeah, great judges along with Leo, thanks a lot, and Tarja and Thomas. So before I announce the names, I know everybody's exciting and holding their breaths. I would like to say a few words on what criteria we evaluated the startups, right? So it's not easy to evaluate startups without having a certain criteria when you're given a short period of time to present your business. So it was mainly around the problem, how well you've articulated the problem, and how you have done the market validation and have the product market fit. What is the unique, the secret sauce that you have that the competition doesn't, and what you bring on the table as a team. So that was another big criteria for us to see the competence of the team, like how well they can not just pitch at this event, but the strengths they have to take their product to the market, commercialize it, and also grow the business and scale it up. Last but not the least, the commercial readiness and go-to-market strategy were really, really important. And there are certain startups that were more mature on that front versus the others who still need to accelerate and work on those. But overall, really great ideas and really, really great startups. Yeah, so let me come to the point, the main point which everybody is waiting for. The winner was really clear for us, so that did not take too much time. So we have a clear winner, but when it came to the runner-ups, we had to really iterate a lot and discuss a lot, deliberate a lot, because there was a tough competition among the startups. There were very, very strong candidates for the runner-ups, but we had to come up with, of course, the two final, and then we further, digged more deeper into what kind of strengths the team has, and again, all the different criteria that I mentioned earlier. So the first runner-up that I would like to announce is FinAdvance. So congratulations, FinAdvance.
Thank you very much.
Yes, it's really, really great to you have a very, very proven problem and product market fit. You have you're doing something really, really unique out there and making a huge difference. And what we really, really liked about your startup is that you are also commercially focused. You have partnership in place. You have customers, relationships that you're developing. So I think that goes on to show that you've not just worked internally, but you are also focusing externally on how to take your business forward. So really, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
All right, then I think we'll have an opportunity to give more feedback, my colleagues and everybody else, but I'm just announcing the second runner-up now, and that is Analysis Mode.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Tiago, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
So overall, a great pitch. You were very, very strong in conveying, what is the problem that you're solving, what is the unique solution that you have for that, and the proprietary, AI, ML, algorithms and the data set that you're working with. But like I said, also you have a, commercial focus. You've shown traction already. You are, as a team, very, very strong. There's still, of course, a lot to be learned for every startup here, and it's great that you are heading in the right direction. What could really help to you guys? I think if you increase your customer base, increase the data set to really further validate, your solution. But congratulations.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks a lot, and thanks, Terkko.
All right, so the clear winner. And it was easy, as I said, but that goes on to say that one of the biggest strengths that we saw in the winner was the team. It's not always easy to have a technical team and a balance of commercial team, but we saw that this startup presented unique strengths in all different areas and could answer all the questions like with flying colors. So the first or the winner for this demo day is Swante Group.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Isha. So congratulations.
Sorry,
like I
my
said,
mother is here too, so she's really, really excited right now.
Great, guys. Really, really well done. Good job done. I think one of the things that really impressed the judges about you guys was that you have proven what you've done. You have the right things that you're working on, and you have shown that you can take your company to the next level. And your business model was really clear. Your commercial strategy, your go-to-market plans were really on the spot. So very well done. really congratulations again.
We definitely enjoyed the session so much, and the questions were so good. And obviously, thank you so much. And we also want to congratulate all the teams as well.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and like I said, all the teams performed really well, and it was especially for the runner-up round. Like we had very difficult choices to make, and I would like to ask my fellow panel members to give feedback, if any, for the other startups or the winners as well. Leo, Tarja.
I guess you kind of made quite good explanations already what we were discussing on the runner-ups. I have some encouraging comments for the rest of the teams. So, for example, the Jasmine lactone project, which I think that is technology very nice solution on the setting, is forward going. I guess on that solution, the hardest part in the thing is how to actually create the market model and how to go forward, how to actually convince the pharma to work with you in a way, and that is something that you should concentrate. You have very kind of a good background on your hands. I also kind of valued the other delivery systems that you have the microneedles, and it has a little similar problem here in how to actually convince the people to start providing drugs to your cases. So there is a good idea, lots of things to work about. Project about mental health, about how to figure out what to do with the ADHD for systems that I think that it actually uses proven tools already. I think that what you have to do is to go and try to hide your kind of put up your minimal viable products and get it to the hands of the people, and then work on it. So I bet that it can be convincing to kind of lots of the people, and you can go forward with that one. One of the really big problems to solve was the violence against women type of a system that you are actually addressing globally in a good way. I think that the kind of challenges into how to actually kind of find out the programming base, how to build those solutions, and how to go forward with that. I think that is also, so that was a kind of a very good presentation you had in your hands in the setting. So perhaps I have other comments to say as well, but this was the thing that I wanted to actually address on very so. So perhaps Tarja, you want to continue a little more?
Yeah, first of all, congratulations to the winner and also to all of you. I think, really great job. And as we had a very good discussions among the judges, and so this was not the easy task. And I would like to say also about something about like this CSS, this violence problematic, and ADHD, I mean, you are really working in the field, which is really with the solutions, you are really making a huge impact. So I encourage really to work on that. So I think it is great that people are really trying to find solutions and developing. And then about this personalized healthcare, this is a very important topic, and this is the way, now the healthcare is going forward to develop different kind of solutions. And for that, I would like to also encourage to deep dive more about the technology side, and also how to really go to market and to what is the collaboration model, these kind of things. So and also this Medix Micro, very good idea. Definitely there is a market, and maybe also the solid plan how to target it and the customers. So that is something to work with. So, but overall, I was so impressed, really, because more and more we heard, and from all of you, it was really amazed at how the world is full of great ideas, and I encourage to all of you to really continue the good work. this is a journey for all of you, like it is also whenever we are working with towards improve the patient outcomes and healthcare. So this needs patience, and I hope you all have it, but you have the courage, and this is what is needed. So thank you.
Congratulations to Swante, to FinAdvance, to Analysis Mode, and also to the other teams for their great performance. And a big thanks to the judges for your feedback and for this decision. And to those of you watching this now or later, thank you for your attention. And for us now, it's time for a thank you and a bye.